Let me see. All right, I'm gonna move over. Alright, welcome everybody. I think I'm live on stream now. I hope I'm live on stream now. I'm going to start anyway and see if we are anyway. So, hey everyone, it is mindezzy here. I am a speedrunner. I'm going to be playing Discworld for you today. There's a lot to do in this run, and there's not a lot of time in which to do it, in which for me to talk about it, and I've got a lot to talk about. So, we're just going to go ahead and get started straight away here. First up, I am going to show off my audio settings. So we're going to start with sound effects on and voice on. We're going to be changing this throughout the run because this is going to be a very heavily glitched run. I also want to show you I do not have any saves at the moment. That's important for leaderboard verification purposes because we're going to be moving items between save files. Yeah, we're not, and don't worry too much about spoilers because there's not a lot in this game that we actually do the correct way. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and start the run in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. So, if anybody is unfamiliar with Discworld, Discworld is a point-and-click adventure game from 1995. This is running in the ScummVM engine, but it was originally released on MS-DOS. And it is based on a series of novels written by a British author called Terry Pratchett. There's a massive number of these novels, I think 41 or so, each featuring, various characters from the Discworld universe. This game in particular is based on the Guards novel, which is, except it's been changed a little bit slightly, because instead of the City Watch being the main character, we have Rincewind here. Rincewind is a wizard from the Unseen University, and he's not a particularly very good one. And we're going to see a little bit of that as we get into the game. So, as we start here, we need to go down, we need to get the broom, we need to come up here, we need to wake up Luggage. Luggage is a box made of sapient pearwood. He's a very good boy, and he's very, very loyal, and he's going to be acting as our inventory for this game. So we can put items in him, and he's also critical to the glitch that we're about to perform. So, let's see it in action. First up, we need to come over here, and we need to go to the Arch-Chancellor's room. The Arch-Chancellor is going to tell us about a dragon that is currently plaguing the city of Ankh-Morpork. We're going to save on save file 1. And in the meantime, I'm going to head down to the library with the banana. And the Arch-Chancellor sends us down to the library to fetch a book, and we need the banana as payment for the book, because the librarian is an orangutan. But walking back all the way to the Arch-Chancellor sounds really, really slow. And, I mean, this is a speed run after all, so... we're not going to be running... We're not going to be, like, walking all the way back, We're just going to, get the book, and then we're just going to, save walk back to the Arch-Chancellor and, just turn it in, because we already have it, even though we aren't on the same save file. And we're going to be using this to hilarious effects. The next hilarious way that we're going to be using this glitch is... so the Arch-Chancellor sends us off to fetch some items. 5 items, in fact, that are going to be used to create a dragon detector. And we're going to go find this dragon that's plaguing the village and be able to stop it. Oop, hello. I can't target the staff. But again, that sounds really, really slow. So instead, what we're going to do, we're just going to come over here. We're going to save on the save file 2. We're going to go over here. We're going to turn in a staff. We're going to save again. We're going to go get another staff, and we're just going to turn in a second staff. We need, as I say, we need 5 artifacts, but they don't necessarily have to be different ones. So we're just going to duplicate this staff 5 times. And this all works because the game doesn't actually check to see that you've handed in 1 of each item. It just checks to see how many items total you've handed in. So that's very convenient for us, isn't it? And with those 5, basically 5 sticks, the Arch-Chancellor puts together a dragon detector, which I think is pretty impressive, personally. And we're going to use that dragon detector to go and find the dragon. And that's the end of Act 1, pretty much. So, in the original speedrun before that glitch was found, Act 1 was about 20 minutes long, and now it's about 4. So that's good. We use the dragon detector to go find the dragon. And we run into the dragon. The dragon tells us now that they have been summoned by an evil cult. And what we need to do, and this is going to be our goal of Act 2, is we need to find the cult, find who is a member of the cult, and stop them. Each of the cult members has a golden artifact, and we need one from each of them. Again, though, that sounds really slow, so we're going to do the same. Spoiler alert, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to get one of them, the fastest one to get, and then we're going to just duplicate it 6 times, and then we'll pretty much be done with it. But there's a load of stuff we have to do in order to get to that point, because the gold items, unfortunately, cannot be accessed at this point in the game yet. To start off Act 2 here, we need to go ahead and fetch 3 items from around the city that we're going to be using later. So we need this glass. We're going to just quickly save. We're going to come into the square here, and we need a butterfly net, which we will be able to find over here at the psychiatrist's office in the waiting room. So we're going to head inside. Apologies for the sound of my escape key. We're going to be hearing a lot of that throughout the run. We talk to the troll, we leave the psychiatrist's office, we go back into the psychiatrist's office, and suddenly the troll has moved spaces and we can actually get it. So let's reload that, save it, and finally we're going to need some fireworks from over here at the city gate. So we're just going to take those, and now we have all the items that we're going to need. So the way we're going to do this, the way we're going to find this cult, is we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back in time to when they actually summoned the dragon, which was the previous night. Now, to do that, we're going to make use of a feature of the Discworld called L-Space. L-Space is the concept in the Discworld that all libraries... Rincewind, pathing, please. All libraries are connected, including through time. So we're going to use L-Space. We're going to unlock L-Space here, and we're going to go through L-Space to go to the same library, but the previous evening. So we need to give all the gold in the kingdom to this guy here. He's going to give us a golden banana that the librarian... Again, we don't want to walk all the way back up there. Let's just save warp. The librarian can use to unlock L-Space. And that's going to take us back to, as I say, the previous night. So let's go ahead and go through. We do have a little bit of waiting to do in a second, and we're going to be doing a little bit of the audio routing here. So we need to wait for the thief. So I don't want to save it. I do want to turn off sound effects at this point, because there is a cutscene upcoming that instantly skips if you have sound effects turned off. We needed to have sound effects turned on when we picked up the fireworks, but we don't need it on anymore for the run. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off now. We're just waiting for the thief to show up. And he's going to come into the library and he's going to steal a book about how to summon a dragon. And we're going to follow the thief, because we need to follow him all the way back to the hideout. Before we do that, however, we do need to do one more thing, one little stop on the way. We need to go to this park over here, and we'll see Rincewind the previous night. Now, alright, I've got to explain something a little bit complicated, but I always love explaining it. This is Rincewind in the past, the previous night, sleeping off the effects of the wine that we drunk earlier in this run. You know, when we're in the Broken Drum, we went and got the glass. And that's because the wine is called counterwise wine. It's actually wine that is grown from a grape that grows backwards in time. So you actually have the hangover before you drink it, and that's why we see Rincewind there in the park. Yeah, okay, all right. I appreciate this game this game and the world of Discworld generally is not necessarily the easiest to understand thing. It's very full of British sarcastic humor, and that's why I love it so much. All right, we have to wait there a little bit to let the thief finish his pathing. Now we've got the hideout unlocked on the map, and we're going to use the butterfly to cause a... Oh, come on, Rincewind, what is with your pathing today? We're going to cause a weather phenomena in the future. So by putting the butterfly on the lamp there, we cause rain the day in the future, and that's going to let us get the robe from this monk here. This is one of the more like infamous puzzles in the game, because that's the one that kind of stumped a lot of people. And also that cutscene with the monk there, that instantly skips because we've got sound effects turned off. If we did not have sound effects turned off, then that cutscene takes about 40 seconds. You can literally sit there and just watch the monk get rained on. It's pretty awkward generally. But by doing that, we have caused rain in the future, a very localized rain shower that has caused the monk to derobe And now we can go and get those robes, which is very important because they are nice, dark, cultist robes, or cultist-looking robes, I should say. And we can go ahead and now try and infiltrate the hideout. So now I'm going to use a new skip that was discovered very recently, which is the Unskippable dialogue skip. And what we're going to do is we're going to trick the game into playing 2 lines of dialogue at once. One that's normally skippable and one that's normally unskippable. And by skipping the one that's normally skippable, it also skips the unskippable dialogue. This is a glitch that I discovered probably like a couple of weeks ago. So this is the second time I'm actually showing off at a marathon. And then once we've done that, we need to turn voices off. Because you need voices on to do this skip, but then the second half of the conversation is going to be faster with voices off. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to turn off voices. We're going to use the drain pipe. And that's going to get us the password. We're listening in on the conversation. And that's going to be the password to get into this cultist meeting. And now, chat, look, I need your help. I need your help, chat. Because now there's some mandatory chat participation. We need to summon a dragon. And we need to summon a dragon by chanting the word dragon repeatedly. At least that's apparently what they're supposed to be chanting. To me, it sounds more like Jagega, but you know, you can be the judge, I suppose. But we need to summon this dragon. We need to spy on the cultist meeting, be one of them, pretend to be one of them, and so you can see the subtitles say dragon. We will hear it in a second. I need you all to chant with me. Jagega, 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 Jagega. No, I really don't hear dragon. I hear Jagega. Jagega, Jagega. Jagega, Jagega. Alright, we did it! We summoned a dragon! The dragon is there. Alright. Good work, everybody. And now that the dragon has been summoned, we've completed the cutscene. That sets a few flags. That means that we can go ahead and actually finally get one of those golden artifacts that we've been after for so long. So that changes a few things in the world. For example, over here in the square, we will see that the Cut Me Own Throat Dibbler here, a character from the Discworld books, is now selling donuts. And we need one of those so that we can go over here and give it to the Dunnyman. Now that we're here, I'm actually going to turn sound effects back off because, again, there's a cutscene coming up where a bit of it is just automatically skipped if you have sound effects turned off. So, you know, we're turning the audio on and off a lot throughout this run. I'm just going to get into position here very carefully. And we're going to give the donut to the Dunnyman. You know, random stranger comes up to you and gives you a donut. Always accept that donut. That's like rule 1 of street food, right? Disclaimer, please don't do this. And then we're going to go for our doctor's appointment over here. So, again, this is only possible after the Jagega cutscene. So we're going to go up to the doctor's appointment. We're going to go upstairs. We're going to, you know, sit in the nice comfy, on the nice comfy sofa. And then we're going to get, you know, bonked on the head. And then we're just going to walk out. And that's how doctor's appointments work. I'm pretty sure. You know, from my experience at least. And then elevator music. Alright. The reason we did that is so that we can come in here and we can talk to the milkmaid because we need a note from her in order to distract the dentist while we go ahead and extract the Dunnyman's golden tooth. And that is the Dunnyman's gold artifact. And that is the one that we're going to be getting as part of this run. There is a slightly faster route for this game. I say slightly faster. It's a good few minutes faster. But it was only discovered like 2 days ago, where we actually go for a different gold item. So for this run, I decided not to not to stress out too much and just go for the current kind of known marathon run, where we can just go for this Dunnyman's gold tooth here. We're going to make a new save here as well. We're going to make a save file 3. So there we go. Rincewind, clearly a trained dentist. as you can tell from his technique. So we're going to save there, and then we're going to go back to save file 1. This was all the way right at the very beginning of Act 2. So this is where we literally just came to the dragon for the first time when we first used the dragon detector. We're going to save on 1, we're going to load 3, we're going to load 1, we're going to scroll off screen, get luggage on screen, turn in a second tooth. Oops, that's going to be pretty slow. That we're going to save 1, load 3, load 1, and do a third tooth. And we're going to do a fourth tooth. You can see the animations get a little bit glitchy here, but that's fine. That doesn't really affect anything that's actually going on here. A fifth tooth. It's a good thing the Dunnyman has all these teeth spare, and they're quite happy for us to use them. And a sixth tooth. And then we've solved the dragon's problem. The cult has been, like, disbanded. We've got the gold artifacts. That's it, right? Their hold on the dragon is free. And then the dragon decrees that they're going to kill everybody that was at the cult meeting. Including Rincewind. And including all of you in chat. You were all there. You all chanted. Everybody who was involved in summoning the dragon is going to take revenge. So that's why we have to stop the dragon. We're all at stake now. So we need to take the custard book over here. We're going to go, and what we're going to do now is we're going to stop the cult from ever having summoned the dragon in the first place. We're going to take the dragon summoning book. We're going to swap the covers with this custard book, and we're going to put it back. And what this essentially means is that rather than stealing a book about how to summon a dragon, the cult is now stealing a book about how to make custard using love potion. So we've just made a love potion custard cult. I'm pretty proud of that, to be honest. And yeah, we're going to come over here. We're going to spy on the meeting again. But instead of summoning a dragon, they're just going to make a load of custard. You know, that's just how it goes. And so Rincewind, in his hubris, comes over and goes to the patrician and asks for a reward for stopping the dragon from being summoned. Which is a very silly thing to do, because the dragon never existed in the first place. And what that means... So the Discworld has an interesting effect where if you believe something is real, it becomes real. And because Rincewind now believes in the dragon... that causes the dragon to exist again. So now the dragon has been summoned, not because of the cult, but because Rincewind decides to go to the patrician and ask for a reward. So we very much created the problem now, so we now have to solve it. What we're supposed to be doing in Act 3 is becoming a hero, and you need to go off and get, like, certain heroic artifacts, like a sword that goes ting and, like, a birthmark and things like that. We're not going to be doing any of that. We're just going to be getting an item that's going to wrong warp us straight to the end of the game, because... that seems like a lot faster. I've still never done Act 3 properly in a speedrun capacity. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and unlock an area called Lady Ramkin's Dragon Sanctuary. Rincewind in his hubris. Discworld in a nutshell. Very true. We'll unlock Lady Ramkin's Dragon Sanctuary, and in there we're going to get an item that's going to basically take us straight to the end of the game. On the way there, we need to go to the hideout over here. We need to knock on this door, you know, this new custard cult we've created. Fortunately, they have loads of custard, so they decided to give us some. And we need that custard, otherwise we softlock the game. But yeah, we're going to head into Lady Ramkin's Dragon Sanctuary. We're going to need that custard at the very end of the game. It's going to be the last item we use. Yeah. And if we don't get it, we softlock the game. It's really bad. And now we're going to do something called the Ramkin Skip. So what's supposed to happen here? When you knock on this door, two things are supposed to happen. Lady Ramkin comes to the front of the house, as we're about to see. And secondly, the cage in the back locks. But they coded the knocker correctly. They did not code the door correctly. If you knock on the door rather than the knocker, Lady Ramkin comes to the front, but the cage in the back does not lock. Come on, pathing. What this means we can do is get in the cage in the back, which we really shouldn't be able to do, because that lets us pick up an item that is very, very broken. We're going to go to the back in this dragon cage, and we're going to take Mambo. The Mambo 16. And the Mambo 16 is a dragon that we're going to use as a weapon against the dragon that is currently terrorizing Ankh-Morpork. Because the game is coded in an interesting way. It's coded so that if you actually have Mambo in a fully fed state, the game just wrong warps you basically to the end of the game because it assumes you've done everything. Mambo is supposed to be the last item you get in this game. And the fact that you can pick it up now is kind of hilarious because it just means it'll take you to the end of the game, even though we're still, like, technically at the very beginning of Act 3. So we just need to feed Mambo 3 times. We're going to duplicate a few fireworks to do that, which is yet another glitch that I never properly fully explain. And as soon as we got Mambo in that fed state, as soon as we go through another level transition, we basically run up to the very final scene of the game, where all the characters are. Every single one of them. The vast majority of them having originally been voiced by Rob Brydon. Yeah, and we're going to pull out our Mambo 16. We're going to fight off the dragon. We're going to have a little bit of an epic combat. Unfortunately, our dragon develops a bit of a fault, shall we say. Our dragon falls in love with the main dragon, our enemy dragon, and unfortunately, because of that, we need to resolve this another way. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the custard tart. I'm going to re-enable voices very quickly, and we're going to throw the love to the custard tart. The dragon time is coming up as soon as that happens. Now, oh, there we go. My splits did not work quite as they should then. That's fine. And there we go. That is time. We have made the dragon fall in love with Mambo. The dragon eats the love potion custard, and they fly off into the distance together, and then do some skywriting because that's apparently what dragons do. And I love this game because it's one of those very few point-and-click adventure games that's like actually got a really interesting speedrun, because there are like the number of glitches that I've managed to find in this game and managed to exploit and like add to the route is like kind of just crazy. And to finish this in basically like 19 minutes is I mean, this wasn't even a particularly like solid run, but yeah, I will take it. Thank you very much to everybody. Oh, and in fact, one final thing before I finish off here. We have Death here with the final scene, apologizing for why he's not in the final scene, because nobody actually dies. If anybody doesn't know what the Discworld is, this is the Discworld. So the Discworld is a flat Earth that just kind of flies through space, supported on the back of 4 giant elephants on the back of a giant turtle. And I think this image pretty much explains everything you need to know about the Discworld. I mean, it is a world, shall we say. And that's gonna be me. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Mindez. You can find me over on twitch.tv/mindezzy with a ZY on the end. I have been running this game, but I'm planning I'm kind of like retiring this game because I keep finding glitches in it, and I need to stop finding glitches in it because it keeps making the run shorter and shorter, and that means that my marathon runs I have like less time to say more stuff. So I'm trying to move on to other games, but the game won't let me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the marathon, and yes, enjoy.